Hello students, here's your tutorial on creating the Eccentric Cam for activity 4.5. So in here you're going to be assigned a shape. You've been assigned the Eccentric Cam, and you have also been assigned one of these nominal diameters. For this tutorial I'm going to use a nominal diameter that you have not been assigned with, which is 3.5 inches. Whatever I do, you just need to translate that to one of the 4 diameters you are given. So here we go. We're going to create this eccentric cam, and it is essentially a circle, a circular piece with a diameter, and a hole that is 1/4 inch of the diameter down from the center of the large circle or cylinder, and that hole is 3/16 inch in diameter. Okay, so let's get to this. In Inventor, I'm going to select New, Standard Part. I'm going to go ahead and hit Create. I'm going to start a new sketch, and I'm going to place it on one of my upright planes, X and Y in this case. I'm going to grab the circle command, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag out. Now for me, I'm going to make sure that my circle is dimensioned by its diameter. You can actually change this if you want, even though you don't have to. You can right click and you can actually change the dimension by its radius. The Eccentric Cam is asking us to dimension that outer circle by its diameter, so we're going to keep diameter. In this case, the diameter that I was using was 3.5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and hit Enter. And I have a 3.5 inch diameter cylinder. I'm going to go ahead and click Finish because I am done. I am fully constrained. And I'm going to select Extrude. And inside Extrude, it wants this to be a 3/16 inch part. I do not have to put units inches because I'm using a standard template part that is designed that any number you put in will be considered inches. So I'm just going to select 3/16 and I'm going to hit OK. Next, I'm going to click Start, New Sketch, and I'm going to select this face. What I'm going to do with this face now is I'm going to create a point, a center point for this hole right here, because I'm going to teach you how to use a new command. So you can see that this center point is 1/4 inch, or 1/4 of the diameter, not 1/4 inch, but 1/4 of the diameter down. So to do this, I'm going to select Point, and it's going to be right below it. So I'm going to make sure I'm lined up below it, and I'm going to select and click the Point command. Now I can move this Point command around, or this point around. So the first thing I want to do is identify how far is it down from the center of this circle, which is identified right here with this projected geometry. I'm going to select Dimension. I'm going to click here, drag out, and it's going to ask me what is the dimension. Alright, so if I go back here, it is 1/4 of the diameter. Well, my diameter was 3.5, so 1/4 of that will be 0.875. So I'm just going to put in 0.875, hit OK. And you can see here we still have 1 dimension needed. Alright, so what happens if I grab this? See, I can move this around. This point can actually rotate. Well, it's very similar to our other cam designs in 4.2. This just needs to be lined up vertically with the center. So I'm going to click the vertical constraint, select the center, select the point, and it is fully constrained. Now that you have this point, you can go ahead and click Finish Sketch. And we're going to use a new tool. It is a new feature that automatically creates a hole for us. Think of if you ever have a part that has a drilled hole with a drill bit, we're going to use this hole command. So we're going to select Hole. And when we do this, there's a placement box up here. It automatically finds the center of my hole, and it's dimensioned to be 0.25. Well, our dimensions say that it is 3/16 of an inch. So I'm going to change this to 3/16. And then for my termination, I just want to make sure that I am through all. So what through all does is make sure the hole is drilled all the way through. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And I now have my eccentric cam. You can go ahead and save that, and you can move on to the next part.